Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family and Harry and Meghan. And today I'm continuing the subject of Andrew, but today I'm continuing the subject of Prince Andrew. His recent decision to step away from his titles, it's just been in the news a lot over the past week. And there's quite a lot of discussion online now about what it actually means. I'll keep this straightforward, just sharing what's out there for you to think about. We'll touch on the law change and some views from people on social media and a few ideas that are circulating in online forums. Nothing here is set in stone. It's all about what people are saying. If you want the deeper dives into royal history and heavier topics, I'll save those for a members only video later this week. So let's get into this. First, a quick recap of the facts. On October the 17th, Prince Andrew announced that he was voluntarily stopping the use of his Duke of York title. He still holds it officially, but it requires an Act of Parliament to remove it completely. That's the old rule. It's a long process. But now, members of Parliament are pushing for a change. They want to make it easier to strip titles without waiting for a full parliamentary debate. Some of you might remember I did a video about this and about the whole parliamentary thing concerning Harry and Meghan losing their titles. The SNP's Westminster leader, Stephen Flynn, has been vocal about this. He said the public knows it's the right thing to do, at last, especially for the victims in the Epstein case, and that those involved have hidden behind their power and privilege for too long. No excuses, no further delays. That's the message. You can see why this is getting attention. Petitions are popping up everywhere. Just today, I saw several people sharing one on X, calling for Prince Andrew to lose his titles and any public funding. For example, someone named Susie posted, "Strip Prince Andrew of royal titles and public funding. Sign the petition," with a link to change.org. And Lynn Manning shared the same one, saying it's time to act. These are everyday people, not just big influencers, but they're all fired up. A poll from YouGov, shared by Royal News Network, shows 80% of Britons support stripping the dukedom. Only 6% oppose it. That's a strong number, isn't it? It shows broad agreement that something needs to happen. Now here's where it gets interesting, and where some people online are starting to connect dots. Once this law changes, it won't just apply to Prince Andrew. It could make it much simpler to remove titles from anyone in the royal family. And yes, that includes Prince Harry and Meghan. Right now, if someone wanted to go after their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, it would be the same drawn-out parliamentary fight. But with a new law in place, tested on Andrew first, it becomes routine. No one could argue they're being singled out. It's just the rules now. But with Andrew's situation heating up again, especially with Virginia Giuffre's memoir coming out about her experiences with Epstein, Maxwell and Andrew, it might open the door wider. The Post even jokes about William and Catherine making room for Andrew at their place, since he's reportedly not paid rent in years. It does highlight the family tensions bubbling under the surface. This ties into a bigger conversation on X about precedents. Royal News Network commented on that YouGov poll, saying, "Stripping Andrew's titles isn't just about justice for his alleged actions. It's about protecting the monarchy's future. If they don't act, it could be abused later," they say. Abused how, people ask. Well, some replies under that post speculate that it sets a clean path for dealing with other royal problems without backlash. No cries of unfair treatment or hidden motives. It's efficient, in a way. And with the Epstein scandal resurfacing, Democracy Now! Had an interview today with Giuffre's ghostwriter talking about the depths of hell she went through. It feels like the timing is perfect for change. Congressman interest in questioning Andrew, as mentioned in a US weekly piece shared by The Nash, adds more pressure. It's all stacking up. But let's pause there for a moment. This is the surface level, the official push for accountability. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I like to explore what else is being discussed in quieter corners of the internet. Not as hard facts, but as ideas that people are sharing and debating. Some online forums talk about a list. Not an official one, mind you, but something that's been circulating for years. It's supposed to track high-profile figures from politics, entertainment, and yes, royalty, who've been, well, a sort of, how can I put this, removed from their positions in various ways. Next to names like actors, world leaders, and royals, there are notes. Arrested, awaiting proceedings, stepped aside, or even marked as handled quietly in replace, if you understand my meaning. Prince Andrew appears on it, along with several senior royals. The idea is that doubles or stand-ins, sometimes described with advanced disguises like realistic masks, keep things looking normal on the outside. I know that might sound unusual at first, but these discussions have been around for quite a while, and they tie into observations people make about real-world changes. For instance, take Guantanamo Bay. The base has expanded significantly in recent years. New buildings, more capacity for detainees. You can see satellite images of it on Google Maps. It's not hidden. And then there's the flight tracking. Free apps like Flight Radar 24 let anyone monitor aircraft in real time. Enthusiasts, some of whom post about it full time, watch for patterns. They can identify military flights, even specific ones, like those associated with high-level transport. There was a particular period last year when incoming traffic to the base spiked dramatically, dozens of flights arriving over a short span, with very few departures. It coincided with reports in these forums about large-scale operations rounding up individuals for military tribunals. No one's claiming to know exactly who's on those planes, but the data is public. You could pull up the app yourself and see historical logs. One ex-post from earlier this week, though not directly about flights, echoed this by sharing a Radar Online exclusive on Andrew bracing for betrayal amid the Epstein fallout, fueling speculation that bigger moves are afoot. This all feeds into a broader narrative in those spaces, that military alliances spanning countries around the world are taking the lead on global accountability, not through public courts or headlines, but methodically behind the scenes. Some call it a coordinated effort to restore order, with the old guard stepping aside one by one. Andrew's title step back, in this view, isn't voluntary. It's the visible part of something already done. And the law change? This is just paperwork to match reality. And as for the Garter, before all this, Andrew was Grand Master of the Order of the Garter, that ancient order dating back to the 1300s. Ceremonies involve robes, oaths in historic chapels, symbols like garters and serpents that trace to pre-Christian times. Historians note it's more ceremonial than anything, but critics, in older texts, question if those rituals carry echoes of something less aligned with modern values. Interestingly, he chose now to leave that role too. So is this coincidence or part of the pattern? I'm not here to say that any of this is true. These are just threads from online conversations, petitions on X, polls showing public mood, forum lists, flight logs. Anyone can check them. Posts like the one from Meghan's mole, sharing a 2022 clip of a royal security guard comparing Andrew and Harry in their antics, or the Nash's note on congressional interest, show how heated the debate is. Even lighter ones, like Stickus Maximus calling out the SNP for hypocrisy on titles while overlooking their own issues. It's a mix. Serious calls for change, family drama, and those deeper speculations. In the end, Parliament may pass this law soon, making titles easier to remove for good reason, but it raises questions. Is Andrew the test case for broader shifts? Could Harry and Meghan be next on the list, official or otherwise? And what's really happening at places like Guantanamo? It's up to you to weigh it all. What do you think? Does this feel like accountability or something more orchestrated? And there is one more thing. With titles off the table, talk online is already turning to prison for Andrew. Belmarsh in London, or even extradition to the US. People are saying it's not just about honours anymore, it's about bars. So I'll dig into that in another video. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Keep it respectful as always, and if you enjoyed this, give it a like. Share with friends and family who might enjoy this, and become a member if you want more of the stuff where I dig deeper. Thanks for watching. Bye.